Speed is not just a number on a dashboard. It is a bargain you make with God. You trade your fear for immortality. You trade your safety for glory. For 20 years, Michael Schumacher cheated death. He danced on the edge of a razor blade at 300 kilometers per hour. He survived fires. He survived collisions that turned steel into dust. He was the man who could not be killed by speed. He was the Red Baron, the untouchable god of the asphalt. But fate is a cruel writer. It didn't come for him on the dangerous curves of Monza. It didn't come in the rain of Spa. It waited for a quiet Sunday morning, a family vacation, a pair of skis, and a silent, hidden rock. The man who conquered the machine was defeated by a stone. Welcome to Zero to Glory. This is not the story of a race car driver. This is the tragedy of a king who conquered the world, only to be imprisoned by silence. To understand the emperor, you must first understand the ruins he inherited. In 1996, Scuderia Ferrari was not a team. It was a graveyard. A beautiful, scarlet tragedy. They hadn't won a driver's title in 17 years. The Italian press called it the Red Misery. The car was heavy, unreliable, and slow. Legends went there to die. Then came the German. Michael didn't just sign a contract. He declared war on mediocrity. He didn't act like a superstar. He acted like a mechanic. While other drivers were sleeping in five-star hotels, Michael was in the garage at 2 a.m., smelling of oil and sweat, analyzing telemetry data that no one else cared to read. He realized something terrifying. Talent wasn't enough. To resurrect this dead giant, he had to become a machine himself. He stopped being human. He became pure will. He demanded perfection from everyone, from the guy changing the tires to the chef cooking the pasta. He turned Maranello from a chaotic circus into a military base. They called him the Rainmaster. Barcelona, 1996. While his rivals were spinning in the flood, Michael found a grip that didn't exist. He was 3 seconds a lap faster than the rest of the world. That day, we saw the god.
In these appalling conditions, Jean Alesi won't give up though. Last corner, and Michael Schumacher wins the Spanish Grand Prix.
But every god has a shadow. And Michael's shadow was pitch black. Jerez, 1997. The championship on the line. Jacques Villeneuve makes his move. And in a split second, Michael makes a choice that would haunt him forever. He didn't turn away, he turned in. He tried to take him out. This wasn't an accident. This was the dark side of obsession. The world called him a cheater. The FIA stripped him of his second place. He stood humiliated before the globe. It proved that his will to win was so violent, it could blind his morality. He was willing to be the villain if it meant being the champion. But that day, he lost both. Karma is patient. 2 years later, Silverstone, 1999. The brakes failed. The wall approached at 160 miles per hour. For the first time, the machine didn't just fail him, it broke him. A shattered leg. A season lost. As he lay in that hospital bed, watching his rivals fight for his crown, the villain had to die so the legend could be born. He didn't just heal his bone, he recalibrated his soul. What followed was not a competition. It was an execution. From 2000 to 2004, Michael Schumacher suffocated the sport. He won so much that winning became boring. He won so much that the FIA changed the rules just to stop him. But you cannot legislate against greatness. 91 victories. 7 world titles. These aren't just statistics. They are monuments built on the crushed egos of his rivals. He destroyed Mika Hakkinen. He demoralized David Coulthard. He forced an entire generation of drivers to accept that they were fighting for second place. He was a tyrant in a red cockpit. Cold, calculated, ruthless. He didn't want to be loved. He didn't want to be a hero. He wanted to be the best. And for 5 glorious years, he was the only king on the chessboard. No blinking, no emotion. Just raw processing power. He was a computer made of flesh and blood, solving the equation of speed while the rest of us were just trying to understand the question. December 29th, 2013. The engines were off. The helmet was on a shelf. The warrior had finally laid down his sword to play in the snow with his son. It was supposed to be a day of peace, a day of joy. But fate is a sniper that waits for the moment you lower your shield. One fall, one rock, and the lights went out. The man who survived fire and steel was silenced by the mountain. The world waited for news. We waited for the miracle. We waited for the Red Baron to stand up and walk away, like he always did. But this time, the silence didn't end. It has been over a decade of secrecy, a decade of prayers whispered in the dark. His family, led by the fierce Karina, built a wall around him, not to hide him, but to protect his dignity. In a world that demands to see everything, their silence is the ultimate act of love. We don't know if he hears us. We don't know if he remembers the roar of Monza or the rain of Spa. But maybe, just maybe, in the quiet fortress of his mind, he is still driving. Still hitting the apex. Still seeing the checkered flag. Michael Schumacher taught us that limits are just illusions. He showed us that a human can become a legend through sheer will. He is not gone. Legends don't die. They just change form. As long as there is a red car screaming down a straight, the Emperor is there. Keep fighting, Michael. The race isn't over yet.